welcome to Let's Talk Two Sports. Week four of our is a recap show, review show of week four in the NFL, and it's amazing that going into the year, everybody thought that it would be the AFC West that would be running ruckshot through the NFL, but the NFC East has spoken in the first quarter, and the NFC East is letting people know that it may be a return to glory with the NFC East, housing two 3-1 teams, housing the only undefeated team and probably the best team in the National Football League in the first quarter, definitely. And, it's a lot to be seen, a lot to talk about. What's going on, brother?
Fly Eagles fly.
How
They're
about them Jets?
undefeated team. Jets. You know, I had a prediction that Kenny Pickett would take over today and lead them to victory. He took over today and had a bad pick, which led the Jets to victory. But we're gonna get right into it because we know that Sunday night game about to tip. So we're gonna go the 9 this morning, 9:30 game. Vikings 28, New Orleans 25. And if I was the Saints and Dennis Allen, and the general manager and the owner of the Saints, I would contact the NFL immediately because they were completely jobbed in a foreign land.
Yeah. And Dwayne, unfortunately, that has been the theme um, with a couple games. Not all the games, but most games, you see these games where the officials just have they don't have a bad play. They have bad calls throughout the whole game from tip until the whistle, and they sometimes anticipate calls, and they were definitely all over the place today. And we both feel like the Saints got jobbed.
Yeah. But one good thing about these games, especially the early games, all competitive, all one possession games for the most part. The one that wasn't a one possession game, Dallas Cowboys 25, Washington Commanders 10. Cooper Rush is the first quarterback in the history of the Dallas Cowboys to go 4-0 in his first four starts. The start last year in Minnesota, and then the three starts in place of number four this year. Little surprised as much as the Cowboys put the ball in Cooper Rush's hand today. 17 to 25, I think is what he finished. Um, this is the defense, man. Cowboys defense, man. This is a top five defense. And these NFL and all you people that don't think number seven is a legit corner, think again. He shut scary Terry McLaurin down today with the help of the pass rush. And shout out to number 26, Deron Bland. He stepped in for the injured Jordan Lewis. Played a very good game. Got his first NFL pick.
Um, I'll say about the Cowboy game, it's always interesting when you play a division rival, regardless of what the records is. You could throw it out. Washington, Washington is a strange team, man. It's like they have a black cloud over their organization. Most people think it's Daniel Snyder, but they got talent, and that's the crazy thing. And when you look at running backs, they got two good running backs that complement each other, and the kid that had got shot. They got the receivers. They got five number one. They got five first rounders on that defense, minus Chase Young until he gets back. And you never know what you're gonna get out of them. Carson Wentz, if you look at it, he threw the ball 40 times a game, but he didn't have over 200 net yards. Um, Clearly, this game was about putting pressure on him and making him feel uncomfortable. And Dallas's defense, for most Cowboy fans, they may not want to admit what has transpired with the Cowboys having this good, high scoring offense last year. The Cowboys is a defensive team. They hope the fans can accept winning ugly because that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to bend, don't break, hold you to three, and try to beat you 27-21. That's going to be the type of games that they're going to try to play teams. So good win for the Cowboys. Good win for the Cowboy fans.
Yeah. Atlanta Falcons 23, Cleveland 20. I thought Cleveland would win this game today. Great job by Atlanta getting themselves to 2-2. Um, I said it earlier in the year. I think Marcus Mariota fits Atlanta, but it's tough when your quarterback is 7-19 for 139 yards, one interception. That you get that type of performance out of your quarterback and you still win, man. That's pretty tough. That
Yeah,
Atlanta was able to pull that out. Um, the Browns. I don't know, man. I can't get a good gauge on them. I don't think Jacoby Brissett played that poorly. I mean, Nick Chubb went over 100. Kareem Hunt was almost at 50 yards. So that's one I think the Browns should have won. But give credit to the Browns. Give credit to the Falcons for pulling it out.
the Browns is what you call the definition of average in the NFL. You never know what you're gonna get. They got talent. They trying to tread water till Deshaun comes back, but in the division that they're in, they could be out of it. Uh, so I think it's a big win for Atlanta. Atlanta, when you think about what they're doing and what they're going to try to do is accumulate some talent. So that's a big win for what they're doing in their program. Continue to try to get wins like this, win ugly. Interesting. I mean, to me, it's a bad loss for the Browns. Those type of games they got to win.
Yeah, Seattle goes into Detroit, and the scoreboard operator was very busy on today. So you had Seattle 40-48, Detroit 45. I did mention this morning that I like Geno. Man, I like Geno Smith, man. He's playing well. 23 of 30, 320 yards and two touchdowns today. Jared Goff had four touchdowns, 378 yards. So, I like Seattle going in today, man. I just thought they would go into Detroit, come out with the victory, and they did.
Yeah, you were on Seattle. I thought Detroit would pull it out. Detroit, obviously, Aaron Glenn needs to get that defense together. They give up far too many points. Their offense, man, Detroit's offense could score with anybody. They could rock out. They get I truly believe that they have the best offensive line in football. Um, and they just got to be able to put it together. The thing about Gino, which is interesting, is people could say what they want about the NFL, about players and talent. It comes down to who you get to coach you at your time. It's clear that Gino and Pete Carroll is a good fit. And it's amazing how good he runs the offense that Pete Carroll likes to run. A lot of play action, a lot of running the football and playing solid defense and don't turn the ball over. So it's good for Gino to watch him evolve as a professional and a guy that's getting a second chance.
Yeah, yeah. But big time win for them. Another team that I felt had to win today, and they went on the road, Tennessee Titans, and they took a 24-17 win. And you know what? This resets the Titans, man. At 2-2, they're now with a team that we'll discuss a little bit later, but they're both 2-2 in the AFC South. So the Titans could really right themselves. Uh, so yeah, that was a big time win for the
Yeah.
Titans.
Titans done weathered the storm, with the loss that the Jacksonville done had. Titans is right back in the thick of things. And it just goes to show that, when you could just have a decent quarter, it doesn't matter. The first four games, they always come out with all these crazy statistics. Oh, teams start 0-2. Well, it's 17 games in the season now, and there's so much parity. A lot of the statistics that was old are gonna fall. Titans, they showing their grit, man. They just picking up stride. I think it's a bad loss for the Colts. I can't get a finger on what type of team the Colts is trying to be.
Well,
They
you
have
could
some they have some scratch your head type of games.
you could tell what type of team they are. Mediocre. If you look at their record now, they're 1-2-1. So they are who their record says they are right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then you had at MetLife another one possession game. You had the Giants with a 20-12 victory. Giants got a little banged up. Daniel Jones with an ankle. It'll be interesting to see how he travels because he has to go to London next week. So that'll be interesting. Big effort out of Saquon Barkley today. 31 carries, 146 yards. I would have to say Saquon's back, man. He's playing for a contract. I don't know if that will be in New York or if that'll be somewhere else. I think he would look wonderful in the uniform of the team that they played against today, the Bears, and would give something to Justin Fields. But that's conjecture for another day. Giants moved to 3-1, and the NFC East.
Messing with the Giant fans like me and you do when they mess with us. I'm just gonna tell the Giant fans, man, you got your coach. It's gonna take a while for him to build his program. It might take 2, 3 years, but you got your coach. You clearly understand what the Giants is trying to do. They're trying to run the football. Daniel Jones, you don't make it a bad game. Monday, I believe that they coached against the Cowboys, who they didn't understand the Cowboys front seven, and they put Daniel Jones to dry. I think if Dable could have it all again, he would be in more max protection, which he was a lot in today. And the Giants is good. They're a well coached team. They might not win a lot of games. They're 3-1. They got a winning first quarter. We
And
don't know
listen,
what's going to happen, but just know that you got your coach.
if you look at the last 5 years, I mean, if you're a Giant fan, you got to be happy to be 3-1
Yeah.
because these last couple of years, 0-5 starts, 1-4 starts. So to be 3-1, I mean that's good for the Giants.
Yeah, you definitely got your coach. And like Dwayne said to me the other day on the phone, with having your coach, it highlights how bad your old GM was. Because all the players that he signed and drafted, they can't even get on the field except Saquon and Daniel Jones. And trust me, they're doing plays. The plays that Daniel Jones is running, those are plays where the coach is saying, "Don't lose the game for us."
Yeah. So Philadelphia moved to 4-0. They beat Jacksonville 29-21. Another very close game. And it's kind of amazing that Jacksonville only lost by 8 points and they turned the ball over 5 times today. 5 times you turn it over and you're still in this game. But give the Eagles credit. Got to give credit where credit's due. They're the only undefeated team in this league. So right now they got all the bragging rights through four weeks. Jalen Hurts had another solid game. Um, and the Philadelphia Eagles move on to 4-0.
No way you could turn over that many times and win unless you're playing at home. Big win for the Eagles. It was a gut check loss for Jacksonville. They're growing. They'll figure it out. Eagles best team in the NFL right now, hands down. Being able to get their offense extra possessions, being able to sack the quarterback when necessary. This is how good teams play. This is what the good teams do. Being able to come back from down 14-0 and not panic and just stay with what your game plan. Big
Mhm.
win. Weather was terrible. Didn't matter. Eagles best team in the NFL through 4 weeks.
That's what it is. So then you had a very good game, man. Um, the Jets going to Pittsburgh and come out with a win, man, 24-20. Zach Wilson made plays when he had to make plays today. You know, nothing terrible. 18-36, 252. He had a touchdown, 2 interceptions. They ran the ball pretty effectively. Kenny Smith did come in and make his debut, and he threw 3 interceptions. Not his debut, but he came in for Mitch Trubisky and threw 3 interceptions, man. 10 of 13. You know, but hey, man, 2-2 the Jets under Saleh. You know the Steelers fall to 1-3, and we see what it's all about with them,
You
man.
you asked you asked me a question during the game today. Will this be the year that Mike Tomlin don't get to 8-8? And I think it might be the year, and it has nothing to do with his
Eight
coach.
and eight this year because we got those odd
Yeah,
numbers.
well, I have a winning season. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just think that he's going to have the Steelers coupled with their division and how good their division is, and they got a tough schedule as usual.
Yeah,
I just think they're gonna have a tough year. I think the Jets. Most people think that the Jets, oh, same old Jets, all that stuff sounds good, but the Jets have a lot of talent. The problem with the Jets is health. They're on their third tackle. The quarterback is back. And the Jets just got to get healthy because, as we see, this is the second year and we finally seeing Corey do what he do, and it's just a matter of opportunity and matter of being healthy. But like I said, I believe the Jets got a lot of talent. I believe if they had all their guys, they'd probably have one of the best offensive lines in football. But health is part of the NFL. A big win for them and what they're trying to do because it's always been hard for the Jets to win against the Steelers traditionally. So big win for the Jets, tough loss for the Steelers.
yeah, man. So definitely was. And then you had, the two teams. It's the marquee matchup early, and the Buffalo Bills went into Baltimore, man, and got a win. 23-20. A lot of people are questioning the end game of John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh's a good coach, man. I try to give him the benefit of the doubt as much as I can. Off last week's loss, that's a great win for Buffalo to go in there and get that win against the Ravens.
John Harbaugh deserves all the criticism that he's gonna get. I'm like you. I don't want to. I said on the phone that he's a Super Bowl winning coach. In hindsight, it's always 2020, but he made a bad decision, and it's only a bad decision when it don't end up right. Not only did your quarterback not throw an incompletion or a touchdown, he threw an interception, and
Yeah,
they went down the field and steamrolled against your defense. So tough loss. Buffalo needed this win. I think Buffalo, with all their injuries, really was teetering. Lamar is continuously playing a great game. Lamar Jackson is and there'll be a show me and you will do soon. I got an idea of a good show that me and you could do. I like what Lamar's doing. Tough win for them, man. The Ravens have had their two losses this year. They can't close the door, and that's not usually who they are. So tough loss for the Ravens.
yeah. I'm not going to spend too much time on this next game other than to give the score. And that was Los Angeles 34, Houston 24.
It isn't much to talk about with that game.
No. All right. Then you had the Cardinals 26-16 over the Panthers. Matt Rule just is not getting it done. Baker Mayfield's not getting it done. Kyler Murray leads his team to a nice win on the road.
Nice win for Arizona. I thought Carolina would get one out. Arizona to win a big game on the road. They've been hurting. J.J. Watt heart had actually had to get pumped. Get They had to put a thing on his heart to make it go back into beat um, on Thursday, and he played anyway, which is courageous as well as it's dealing with the health situation again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
again, with this NFL player union, man, should these guys be out there? Should he
yeah,
be paid to?
yeah. But real big win for Arizona. Arizona usually traditionally has a problem traveling east. Big win for Arizona. Not a big fan of Arizona in their program, but it's a big win.
Yeah, it is. So then you had the Raiders in a close one, which was a must win for the Raiders, going in there and being at home and taking care of Russell Wilson and the Broncos. Made the plays they had to make when they had to make them. So they come out with a 32-23 victory at home.
Denver could have finished them off. Denver could have finished the Raiders off and not had to worry about the Raiders. 0-4 would have been so tough for them to come back from, knowing how competitive their division seemed to be. 2-2 for the Broncos, and you would think they was 0-4 because everybody sees that Hackett and Russ are not on the same page. I'll just say about Russell Wilson is sometimes you shouldn't complain about what you got. to go over to greener pastures because everything ain't always gold over there.
But I think you got to know when to get out too. And I think his time in Seattle was done with Pete Carroll. I think Pete was ready to go in a different direction. I think it was either going to be Pete or Russ, and Seattle's going to stick with their coach. And Russ just he has to be in a situation where he has Hackett, he has a rookie coach, so it's going to be growing pains there. But it's a good win. It's a good win for the Raiders and Josh McDaniels. It's a good win. And then the game of the day, man, overtime game. Packers 27, Patriots 24, man. Like, hey, listen, this is the NFL. So sometimes what it looks like on paper, you would think the Packers should have rolled, you know. Patriots had to go to their third string quarterback. He played well, played admirable. But hey, man, Aaron Rodgers, you know,
Uh, the Packers have a very interesting team. I think the Packers are growing. I think the Packers are 3-1. Been playing. I'm not going to say they're playing great. They're playing well to win. A lot of grown players, a lot of young players, definitely on offense in the receiving core. The receivers, I mean, they just keep churning these guys out. Dobbs looks like he's going to be the next one, man. Next great receiver up in Green Bay. Their defense, Green Bay's defense is solid. New England, even though New England lost, in my eyes, New England showed and gave people the template of how to play not only the Packers but most teams. But most teams in this era won't play conservative football. I think that New England to have been on their third string quarterback and to go into overtime in Lambeau, it speaks a lot about their coaching. And I know people get mad and always say that, they don't like the coach or whatever.
right?
We all know that players make the game, y'all, but coaches put you in position to succeed. And you know, Packers with a win.
Yeah.
New England with a loss, and that's that.
So it's another week in the league where they pay for play. I do see a lot of non-Cowboy fans are all talking about Cooper Rush and Dak Prescott. Yeah, whatever. Cooper Rush is 3-0. But make no mistake about it. When four is healthy, four is the quarterback. So all that other stuff is just window dressing, man. It's just stuff for these letter networks to talk about. And it amazes me how the whole world worry about what goes on with the team with the star on his helmet. But that's a story for another day, man. I hope everybody had a great day today. Hope your teams won. If your teams didn't, we get over it because life goes on. And right now we got a pretty decent Sunday night football game, 7-3 in the first quarter.
I look for the 49ers to struggle without Trent Williams. He's going to be gone for a couple weeks.
Oh, you mean for tomorrow's game?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of injuries around the NFL. You got Bosa out, Trent Williams out, you got Dak Prescott out. You got to keep an eye on Daniel Jones' ankle going to London. So it's a lot going on. It's the NFL. No one's totally healthy at this point, and you just go out there and do the best that you can.
Any final words?
No, that's it, man. You just another good week.
Another good week. Thank you guys for joining us. Hey, man, all I can say is after Monday Night Football, we're in the week 5, man. These weeks go by quick. Enjoy it. Football is our winter. So with that, we'll see you guys next week. We'll both be on E because we got a very interesting weekend coming up. So next Sunday morning show will be interesting. A lot of laughing going on because I can imagine what our nights is going to be Friday and Saturday night. But until then, y'all have a good week.
Yes.